should be live right now. What's up, everyone? Not sure how many we have in here right now, but happy to be back on another stream grind today. I love it. Gonna mute that. Give me a second here, guys. All right, what's up, a channel? What's going on? Interesting one tonight. 5 games. Well, there's 7, but we're gonna go through the 7 p.m. games. Unless you guys want me to talk about the 5 p.m. games, but I haven't done any research on them. What's up, Lonks? What's going on, Ethan? Lonks, you were the closest one to the Hattrick prediction last night. Obviously, do you remember your pick? I was looking today, I went through this quick. We'll go through at the end, but it looks like you were the only person to take someone with 2 goals last night. So, right? Am I wrong? Yeah. Patrick Laine. What do you think about Habs firing their coach? I'm shocked. They're 13-5. Why would they fire their head coach? He brought them to that playoff run last year too, where they weren't even a good team at all, and they hammered Pittsburgh, and then they played well against Philly. Actually, you know what? He wasn't even there. He had that heart condition during that. So I don't know, man. It's weird. I'm really surprised. I don't think a lot of coaching turnover is a good thing for a team. But I had a question today about whether someone should trade or drop Suzuki. But you don't know what's going to happen now with Boudreau out, because with Boudreau coaching, he rolls the line. So Suzuki's only playing 15 to 18 minutes a night. So if this is a case where it's the whole Babcock Keefe situation where Matthews went from 14 minutes to 22 with a new coach. So that could be the case now for this Montreal team. I don't know if the lines are going to be shaken up. I have no clue. But Flyers love today. Yeah, I don't mind the Flyers. We'll talk about them. I think with Panarin out and all their D hurt, I don't think Panarin's really good defensively, but I mean, they're hurting right now, the Rangers. But don't worry, guys. I got my Zip jersey on today. Scored the empty netter last time when I wore it, so fingers crossed. Zip the meme. I said Laine, yet didn't play him that much. I'm dumb like that. Yeah, I didn't have any Columbus in my stacks, but I only did 3 lineups yesterday. I've really been toning it down on Draftkings now that this community is getting so big. There's just so much else to do. Very time consuming. Kadri for Josh Anderson. Yeah, you can make that trade, Matt. The only thing is Kadri's on he's on a way better team, and he's power play 1, but I think it's even for both sides. Bjorkstrand looked good last night. How about they play Bjorkstrand for 14 minutes a night and he scores every night? It doesn't make sense. He's their best player and they just hide him. Torts is a weird coach. It's not fun having anyone from Columbus on your team. Except for Seth Jones, because he's guaranteed to play 29 minutes a night. Pettersson for Lindholm. I would take the Pettersson side for sure there. Just a lot more upside from Pettersson. But the points will be the same. I think Pettersson is way more likely to shoot and score than Lindholm. Were you guys watching that Columbus game last night? Bjorkstrand almost scored. I think he had a breakaway with 10 seconds left or 5 seconds left and got robbed twice by Lankinen. Time for Verhaeghe to calm down. I think the whole Florida team is about to calm down. I'm going to do a buy low, sell high video this week and expect to see a Florida player on the sell high. But Theodore for Landeskog. So that just depends on your needs. I think Theodore's a little bit better. But, I mean, if you're desperate for a winger that, you need the plus minus and the hits, I think Landeskog's fine. But I like Theodore quite a bit this year. Jones and Laine correlation equals money. Yeah, that was crazy. That full line was really good. William Karlsson for TJ Oshie. I just think there's a trade that doesn't need to be made, if that makes sense, Anton. You're probably fine with William Karlsson. Solo today, guys. So I have a lot of my all my data on my right, but I also have the chat there. So I'm going to try and do my best at answering both the chat and having a lot of my stuff up here. 26 of you in here so far. All right, I'll get started. I'm going to be weird doing this on my own, but we added some stuff to the Google Doc for those of you that are Patreons and are subscribed to this. We added minor penalties per game. We added the penalty kill and power play percentages. So this will just help us identify whether it's proper to attack a team with the power play stack, whether a team will get a lot of opportunities on the power play, and we'll get to one of the teams today that really caught my eye. Then I looked at shot attempts for and shot attempts against per game. This is just to see, I think the high volume goaltenders are way more valuable in DraftKings than goalies like, going against the Ducks, for example, where they're going to score 2 goals on 25 shots. I just think it's better to take the goalie that's getting 30, 40 saves a game. So Hronek for OEL. Yeah, I would take OEL over that, but I mean, both players I'm not too interested in. I'm hoping Minnesota goes split goalie, not just Talbot. Yeah, I mean, Talbot has a hard game tonight if he starts against the Avs. The Avs are so good. I think the Avs are first for penalty kill. They're like top 10 for power play. They have the most shot attempts for, the least shot attempts against. Like, they're steamrolling teams right now. It's not really fun to play against Colorado at all. Who do you think I can get by trading Gallagher and Vrana in a package? Pat, like, what's your scoring in your league like? Depends. Like, some people look at 2-for-1 trades as, both players combined have way more points than my player. So sometimes you can like fleece people like that. But they don't really get that you can just pick someone off waivers because you're losing a spot. Assuming I get Landeskog, would you then trade one of Lindholm or Kuznetsov for Pionk? Kuznetsov for Pionk for sure. Pionk was a guy that I wasn't too high on this year, especially when he was on power play too, but he's been great. So should I try and trade Aho? No, I wouldn't. A lot of people are off of Aho. Like, I'm just curious, what's wrong with him so far that you found? Is he like lacking in the shots hit category for you? Because he's almost a point per game player right now on a really good team. So anyways, we will get started. So Rangers have a couple changes now that Panarin's not here. It looks like Lafreniere is going to draw into the top line with Zib and Booch. Not really a good thing for the top line. They've struggled 5-on-5. They're more of a defensive line, and from what we saw last game, they went up against the Flyers too. So the Hayes, Giroux, Patrick line, who's actually a pretty weak defensive line. So I think this is a pretty good spot for the Rangers here. I did a quick analysis this morning on Carter Hart. It is Elliott starting, but it looks like the Flyers have been struggling a lot on the penalty kill. And we can see here 71% penalty kill percentage. So they've been struggling a lot in the penalty kill. I think this is a good spot for Rangers 1 today. They're extremely cheap. You can fit them with a lot of your higher price stacks. Probably not Leafs 1 or Colorado 1, but you can definitely pair them with the top line and still pay up for defensemen. So I like Rangers 1 tonight. Rangers 2, I'm probably completely off. I do like all 3 power play 1 correlation, but they're going to be facing off against this Couturier line, who is extremely strong defensively. I think majority of you know how good Couturier is as a defensive center. So I just think if the Couturier line is facing off against the Rangers 2, which is what we saw in the last game, it's just going to be way too difficult of a matchup for Rangers 2 tonight. Line 3, I have no interest in. And then on the defensive side, I think I always have interest in Fox, just because he plays so many minutes, top pairing, top power play. He's a guy that will just play 25 plus. If it's a close game, you'll see him well over 27 minutes. And I like that at 5,900 tonight. So Fox is definitely not a bad play. You can pair him with your Rangers 1 and still be a little bit cheaper than Leafs and Colorado 1. Keandre Miller, he is a very good punt defenseman tonight. Good punt defenseman for the next couple weeks as long as Trouba remains out. He's playing a little bit more minutes. He's been blocking shots. And that's the same thing with Ryan Lindgren. He's been blocking a lot of shots. He's seen over 20 minutes per night right now. So both of them very interesting low-priced defensemen tonight. There's not too many on the slate that I like. So if you need to pay down, those are 2 good options. And then it is Shesterkin starting today. I got confirmed before we did this sheet, and he is a good option. The Rangers have been giving up a ton of shots. You can expect him to see a lot of volume today. They are underdogs, but the Flyers getting Giroux back does help them a little bit, but I still think they have way too many injuries for them to be generating as much offense as we've seen so far. So, like the Rangers won today, like Fox, two good punt defensemen on the Rangers side. On the Flyers side, this top line is I honestly thought the pricing was wrong on how overpriced some of these players are. I get JVR has been hot. I've had a lot of questions about whether you should sell high on him. It's a yes for me, but I just can't see myself paying 17-7 for a Flyers line that doesn't really have any noted goal scorers in their career. So not too much I like here from Flyers 1. Flyers 2, if they're going against the Rangers top line, I know Zib's been terrible offensively, but he's been very good defensively. And it's hard for me to target any line going against Zib. So I'm probably off the Flyers side today. I just think they're priced way too high for me to be taking them. The Patrick Giroux combination, I have their numbers up here. Sorry, guys, just got to hide the chat for a second. So Patrick Giroux Hayes have never played together. And Patrick Giroux have 45% Corsi for, 40% goals for percentage. So they're just not good when they're on the ice together. But Hayes and Giroux are decent. I just can't see myself rostering a line that has never played together at all. So pretty difficult for me to get to the Flyers side here. I think the Rangers are pretty sound defensively. On the defensive side, Sanheim, he's fine at 3,600. He's a guy that gets shots and blocks and always has an opportunity to score. He's a former 10-time goal scorer. I think he scored 10 plus twice in his career. And then Brian Elliott here, I don't have too much interest. The only reason why I would is because they do give up a ton of shots against. So you're kind of just hoping for the save bonus there from Elliott. That's how I feel about the Flyers side tonight. I'll get back to some of your questions. Going to be a lot of talking for me today, so I'm going to be drinking my water. This is going to be my lifesaver. All right. Mark Stone for Panarin. That's close. I'd probably keep Stone. I think Panarin's status is uncertain right now, but it's close. Would you drop Raquel, Foligno, or Batherson in a Cats league? Raquel's shooting a lot, but shooting 2%. If I were to pick one, I would say Batherson, third line. He is power play 1, but he's on third line. You think Zib will start to tear it up? That's the meme, right? I know I'm rocking the Zibanejad jersey right now. So, I mean, he's at a 3% shooting percentage right now, which is crazy low. So I do think he'll bounce back. Blackwell PP1 might pick him up because he's been one of the best players. Yeah, you can pick up Blackwell as a streamer for this week, especially with Panarin out. So Hedman and Huberdeau for Matthews. Yeah, Matthews side wins that. I like that trade a lot, Gabe. Ehlers and Draisaitl for McDavid. It's close. Probably McDavid. Yeah, McDavid side. Should I do Kane for Huberdeau and Barkov? No, I would keep Huberdeau and Barkov over Kane. Kopitar and Allen for Verhaeghe and Lankin in points league. Is this fair? Yeah, Kopitar and Allen win by quite a bit. I think Lankinen's stats are actually going to come back down quite a bit. They're just giving up way too many scoring chances. All right, Flames Leafs. This is going to be an interesting game. Definitely a fun one to watch. I feel like all these Canadian games, I say the same thing, where it's going to be fun to watch. So just before I went live, I noticed it's going to be Riddick again tonight for the Flames, and then Michael Hutchinson for the Leafs again. So this is a barn burner from the goaltender side, but definitely have some interest in Flames 1 tonight. My only concern is Hyman's back tonight, and he's going to be on the top line, most likely. That's what Daily Faceoff has. They were really good together before. I just think it's a really tough matchup for Flames 1 going against the Matthews line that have been shutting down teams like crazy this year. But Leafs are taking penalties. Muzzin's out, so their penalty kill gets significantly worse. I think this is a good spot for the Flames at this price tag. They're good 5-on-5. We've seen a lot of success with the Tkachuk-Mangiapane combo. I do wish Backlund would go back there, but I'm not coaching the team, so I can't make decisions. So definitely like Flames 1 tonight. Flames 2, I'm not too excited about. They just haven't done it for me 5-on-5. The numbers just aren't there. They're really heavily reliant on scoring on the power play. So it's hard for me to just justify taking a line in hopes that they get a power play goal. So not too much excitement from Flames 2 or 3 here. Defensive side, you can take Anderson with your Flames one stack, he has been putting up quite a few points the last week. And, you guys know my love for Anderson this year. But I still think he's a little priced up given his lack of peripherals. He doesn't shoot or block quite enough for me to like him tonight. And then Riddick at net, he's gonna see the volume. The Leafs shoot a lot, but it's just not there for me. I just think it's too difficult of a matchup for any goalie against the Leafs, and there's a high total in this game. So I think there's just better spots to go tonight. On the Leafs side here, Leafs one I like a lot tonight. I'm doing cash lineups, so I'm not sure how much of Leafs one I want to get because Matthews always gets around 50% ownership. And now that the slate's a little bit smaller and there's not too many good spots to go, I think Matthews is going to be we're going to see him well over 50% tonight. So I'm not sure how I'm going to play this, but I do think if you're doing multiple lineups, you have to take Leafs one. They're just in way too good of a spot tonight. They're just really, really strong 5-on-5. The Flames are taking almost 4 penalties a game. And you can't give this top line 4 power play opportunities because they're going to score. So definitely like Leafs one tonight. They're in a really good spot. I actually think Leafs 2 is in a lot sneakier of a spot than we're giving them credit for. So I know they've been bad. And the good thing about that is that their ownership's going to be really low. And Kerfoot, if Kerfoot stays on this line tonight, if that's what we see, they were really good last year. 3.04 expected goals for. They were generating chances like crazy. Kerfoot's not a really good defensive player, but that's not really what you're looking for in DraftKings. And going up against this Gaudreau, Monahan, Bennett line, who is bad defensively, I think this is a good spot for Leafs 2 tonight. Tavares really needs to get it going. He's playing like 14, 15 minutes right now, so definitely something to monitor. But Leafs 2 in a great spot tonight. I'm going to be taking them in my cash lineups. I just don't think the ownership's going to be high enough. So I have a lot of interest in them tonight. So Muzzin is out, and I tried to look like who the beneficiary was out of that, because you kind of figure when your 22-minute defenseman's not in the lineup that someone else is going to step up. But looks like Keefe completely spread out the minutes last night, aside from Morgan Riley. But the Leafs did have 5 or 7 power plays. So Riley played a ton last game. Not sure how they're going to play this 5-on-5, but Justin Hole's a decent punt option at 3,400 tonight. I think he will see over 20 minutes skating with either the first or second line, so don't mind him. And then it's impossible for me to want to roster Hutchinson. He's a 10-foot pole. He's just a very bad goaltender. The Leafs aren't too good defensively, so just can't see myself getting to Hutchinson at all tonight. All right. Killing me. Too much talking. I'm going to have no voice tonight. Hall Dogwater? I don't know, man. I haven't watched enough Buffalo to see how I feel on him, but just hasn't been good. I dropped Meyer for Hayes. Is that better? Because there's also Palmieri, Tatar, Kreider, Jenner, and Nino. No, I think Hayes is a good pickup. Hall is 0 heart when he plays. Really? So you guys watch these Buffalo games? Like, if you guys are watching the Buffalo games, I'd love to hear how he's playing. Hope he heats up soon. Rene has been real good. He keeping up and number 1 there. Well, I mean, Saros has been struggling, but I still think it's a 50-50 split because they need to get Saros going because Rene's out the door in the next 3 years. But they do have a Askarov coming up, so who knows. But Rene's stats actually really surprised me. He was a lot better this season than I've given him credit for. I'd rather leverage the field by getting 30% McKinnon. And yeah, and Devils, I'm going to get to that. Going to have you on the show one time, Devils, I swear. Flames D-man, Giordano or Anderson. Depends on what you need lying, because Anderson's more of a points guy for goals and assists, where Gio's more of a shot and block guy. So depends on your needs on your team. Worth picking up Hyman from waivers? Yeah. Yeah, Hyman's an own right now if he's skating on the stop line. Verhaeghe gets so many chances. Also, if someone on top PP gets injured, no doubt Verhaeghe gets that spot. You think so, Ice? That's interesting. I don't watch too many Florida games either, but think Lafreniere is a good pickup. No, I would hold off. Anyone I should be targeting with Malkin? Like if you're trading Malkin, who should you be targeting? Larkin or Palat? Larkin for me. It's pretty close though. Larkin has a higher shot volume. All right, Ducks, Yotes. This is another game where I tuned into. I know a lot of everyone, most people in our Discord were tuned into it. So they split up the Garland, Schmaltz, Keller line. Looked like halfway through the game, and then Kajula got moved up to the top line, and then Garland got moved to the third line. So I'm not sure how I want to play this. This is more of a late swap game where I'm kind of just monitoring what the Coyotes are going to be doing during their pregame skate. But so unfortunate this game's at 9 p.m. tonight Eastern. So on the Ducks side, not too much interest at all from this Ducks top line. They're just not doing it for me 5-on-5. They are all correlated on the second power play unit, but there's just not too much interest there from me. Going to be in a tough matchup tonight against a Coyotes team who have been very good defensively. They limit chances. Kemper is an extremely strong goaltender. So I'm just going to check here who this top line paired up against. It's a lot harder for me to have all this data when I'm alone, but yeah, so it looks like this Coyotes 1 was paired against Ducks 3-1 last game. So pretty favorable matchup. So if this Ducks line is going against Coyotes 1, let's just easily cross it off the board. No love for them there. But this Trevor Zegras, Sam Steele, Jakob Silverberg line is actually really intriguing for me tonight. They're under 10K, and there are two pretty expensive lines to pay up for that are in really good spots tonight. Leafs 1, Avalanche 1. We'll get to the Avalanche in a second. But I think if you need a paydown option, I don't think the ownership's going to be too high on the Ducks tonight. They're just in a really solid spot going against the Coyotes' depth. Hopefully the second line, and that's what I'm going to look for right now. Who they paired up against quickly. So they went against Kraus, Pitlick, Dvorak. It's kind of split up, but yeah, if they're playing against this Coyotes second and third line, I think it's a really favorable matchup for them. Zegras' top power play at 2,700. Coyotes taking about 3.5 penalty minutes per game. 3.5 penalties per game. So that's pretty good for the Ducks there. If they're getting 3 or 4 opportunities on the power play, you're hoping this line could score 1 5-on-5 and hopefully 1 on the power play. So definitely some interest in Ducks 2 tonight. Defensive side, aside from Cam Fowler, I just don't have too much love. Shattenkirk just hasn't been doing it for me. He's not shooting enough. He's not blocking enough shots for that 4,100 price tag. I do know he's on power play 1, but if you're taking a D for 4,100 and he gets a power play assist and a block, he's not paying off value at all. So John Gibson looked frustrated in that last game. So I'm not sure if it's going to be him starting tonight or Ryan Miller. The Ducks, this has been the theme dating back to last year. I remember they don't announce their goalies till 30 minutes before the game. So if it's Ryan Miller going tonight, he started one of the team's 17 games so far. Definitely a good spot for the Coyotes. And on the Yotes side here, I really, really hope this top line's together. They always get no ownership. They're a very strong 5-on-5 line. Garland and Keller together have extremely strong 5-on-5 numbers, over a 65% Corsi for percentage. And that's what you want to see from a line. They're just controlling the play, lots of zone time, lots of shots on net. They're generating chances. They're not allowing anything in the defensive zone. This line is just in a really good spot again if they're together tonight. So going back to Yotes 1, I know Devils for Cup is definitely on the Yotes 1 with me tonight. They're just such a good line. They just generate so many chances, and as they go as the season progresses, if they don't score full line goals in games, that just means their ownership is going to keep going down, and it just benefits us because it's going to happen. They're going to be the nut stack very soon. So definitely still on this Coyotes 1 line. The Yotes depth, I just don't have too much interest in. They just don't do enough for me 5-on-5. This third line's okay if you want to take them. But again, I would rather just go to the Zegras, Steele, Silverberg line at the $300 premium there. And on the defensive side, Chikrin's a good play all the time. Shoots, blocks, plays a bunch of minutes, power play 1. He's just a solid defenseman. He does everything. And 6K is a fair price for him. OEL, 5,600. He is extremely overpriced still. He was 6,700 last week, and he was way too overpriced. Assuming it's going to be Darcy Kemper tonight, it looks like the Ducks actually attempt a bunch of shots, so that's definitely something you want to take into account. Hopefully Kemper gets about 30-plus saves, but it seems like the Ducks have been Kemper's kryptonite, like scoring 3 or 4 goals on him. So we'll see what happens in this game. It's going to be either a snooze fest or Coyotes are going to blow them out of the water. That's my guess anyways. All right. Aho Stone for Pasternak point league. Jeez. 2 top 20 players for a top 5 player. That's a trade analyzer question for me here. Aho and Mark Stone, right? Yeah, so it looks like actually, so we have Team B winning, but if you look at the average points here, it looks like Team A, so the Pasternak side, is actually better. But a lot of it does depend on who you can get on free agency in that trade, right? Like who becomes the filler for the missing piece on your team. I think that's a really important thing to take into account. So if you can, let me know a couple players that are on your free agency, I can toss them into the analyzer and we can see. But it's a really, really close trade. To Chuck and Gibson for Binnington. No, I would hold. Chikrin or OEL? Chikrin by a mile for me. McKinnon and Aho for Matthews and Couture. McKinnon Aho side wins. And I can even type that in the analyzer as well. For Matthews and Couture, is that what I saw? Okay. Yeah, team A wins by quite a bit. Even the team average is yeah. Oh, actually, Couture didn't come up here. Oh, I spelled his name wrong. Logan. All right, so actually, the team average, it looks like Team B wins. But I think just with given the games left in the season, Carolina and Colorado both have significantly lower games left. Sorry, significantly higher. I think they're at 46 each almost. So it's close. Keeper league, Connor for Stone. In a keeper league, Stone wins for me. I think Stone and Vegas are going to be really good for the next 5 years. What goalies I could buy low on currently? Carter Hart. He's going to be in my buy low video, guys. He has been struggling on the penalty kill. So when the Flyers are on the penalty kill, Hart has an .830 save percentage. It's terrible. So hopefully he goes back to his numbers last year. We saw him at over a 9 save percentage. So I think Hart's a pretty big buy low candidate right now, especially rest of season. Flyers are just everyone's hurt. So Richie or Olofsson. Malkin for Landeskog. Malkin for me. It's close though. All right. Wild Avalanche. So from the Wild side here, I'm assuming it's going to be this top line against the McKinnon line. The green white Ek line are always the shutdown line, and they're going against Avalanche 1, who are a brutal 5-on-5 matchup to face off against. Brutal. And people are going to be freaking out about Fiala this week, especially if they're playing against the Avs. There's not going to be too many goals scored. The Avs have a phenomenal penalty kill. They don't give up any shot attempts. And the Wild don't attempt many shots. So I think tonight's just a really, really tough matchup for this Wild team. There's not much to like. I think if you want to go to go anywhere from this team, it's going to be the Kaprizov, Rask, Zuccarello line. But the only problem with them is that they were good last game, and I do think they're going to get some ownership because the prices are still pretty fair. But the Avalanche limit shots. They're first in the league for shot attempts against. They don't allow any, and the Wild struggle to shoot the puck. So it's just a really tough matchup for them tonight against this Avalanche team. It's hard for me to take them, especially if I'm doing only a few lineups. I just think there's better spots on the slate tonight. But on the defensive side, I think you're fine going with Spurgeon. He plays a bunch of minutes, and he's on the second power play unit now. But there's just not too much to like from the Wild side. And Talbot's the same thing, where this Avalanche team just generates way too many offense. And the Wild have struggled. They're taking way too many penalties per game, and that's going to burn them tonight. So On the Avalanche side here, ton of interest in Avalanche 1. I think they're a way better pivot than going to Leafs 1 tonight. The ownership's going to be significantly lower. They're priced pretty similar. And, the fact that the Wild are taking almost 4 penalties a game, you can't be giving that up against this Avalanche team that's just been rolling teams on the power play. They have so much talent. So I think you can go Avalanche 1 with Kadri. You can even substitute Landeskog out and put Kadri in there as well to get Kadri, McKinnon, Rantanen stacks. You can get weird tonight with the Avalanche because of all these power play opportunities they're going to have tonight. So a lot of interest in line 1. Not too much interest in line 2, but line 3, all 3 of them are power play 2 correlated. They're 9,500 tonight. They're going to be going against the Wild depth, which is what we want. So I think if you're looking for another pay down option, I don't mind going with Avalanche 3 tonight. But I'm not one to play line 3s too often. But on some slates, you have to pay up for the McKinnon lines, the McDavid lines, the Matthew lines, Pasternak, same thing. So defensive side, I do think Makar's too expensive at 6,300. He's super reliant on power on power play luck. He doesn't shoot and block enough for me to get overly excited, but given this power play opportunities that the Wild are going to be giving the Avalanche team, you could see a few high quality shots from Makar tonight. And I know I read in an interview with McKinnon that he thinks Makar is going to be the next defense to score 30 goals in a season. So, high praise for him. But Devin Tays, a lot more interesting than I'm giving him credit for. He's definitely found his spot in Colorado. He shoots, he blocks, he plays a bunch of minutes. So I have a lot of interest in Tays tonight as well. The goaltender side, Grubauer, I just can't see myself taking him. He's the most expensive goalie on the slate tonight. Assuming he's starting, it should be him. At the 8,500 price tag, it just doesn't interest me. They limit too many shots, and the Wild don't shoot enough. So he will be in line for the win tonight, but the shot volume is just not going to be there for me. Avalanche 1 night tonight for me, guys. Just too hard for me to get off of them. Hart had a tough game at Lake Tahoe too. We'll try to trade for him. Yeah, I think there's so many injuries right now, and we saw what they can do when they're healthy. They were like 7-2. So, dude, drop Fiala to stream Hyman. Anyone else you can drop other than Fiala? I feel like he'll get picked up. Should I pick up any lower owned goalies, including Robin Leonard, and drop Corpusal? Yeah, if Leonard is available, I think he's still a must own, assuming he comes back healthy. What would someone expect as a return for Hart? It's so hard, Flaky, because I just don't know how people value him in your league, and I also don't know, if goalies are valued high, how they are in comparison to players, who you have available. So it's just hard for me to judge. Would you rather have Puljujärvi or Roslovic? Puljujärvi, but it's close. Mike Smith or Vanacek. Is there anyone else? But if I were to choose one, probably Vanacek. I just hate that Canadian division. I don't like Edmonton at all. So, should I play Kakinen or bench him? I would bench him tonight. Too hard of a matchup against the Avalanche. All right. Final game of the night, Kings and Blues. I definitely have some interest from this game tonight. Just some quick changes here. It looks like Sammy Blais is going to draw in on the top line with O'Reilly and Perron. And then Kyrou shifts back down to the second line with Hoffman and Schenn. So Blues are shaking things up a little bit. 3-0 loss to the Kings. So something to note in this game quickly is that the Blues take a ton of penalties, and their penalty kill is awful. So definitely have some interest from this Kings side. Kings won, all correlated on the top power play unit. They're going up against the Blues top line. The O'Reilly-Perron line slows the game down a ton. But you're kind of just hoping that at this 15-5 price tag, they score a 5-on-5 goal and also a power play marker. And they've been good on the power play too, 25% power play percentage this season. And, the Blues are giving them 4 or 5 power plays tonight. I do think there's an opportunity for them to have a multi-power play point game. And, definitely some interest. When Blais is skated with the O'Reilly-Perron line, they've actually been worse defensively. Was kind of looking into Blais as a forward, and it seems like he's actually a pretty poor defensive player, and that was surprising to me because he's a checking forward, but seems like he just hasn't been getting it done defensively at all. And should complement this line a little bit, but I do think the Kings 1 are in a solid spot. I think Kings 2 are also in a very good spot tonight. They're extremely cheap, and they're all power play 2 correlated. I think Kempe's power play 1, Velarde and Carter are power play 2. Carter is one of the highest shot volume players in this league, and that's something that's very noteworthy because he will be in line for the shot bonus on almost any given night. Assuming the Blues take a few penalties tonight, like this line's going to have some opportunities, and they scored last game on the power play. Definitely doable again this game. Defensive side, I do like Dougie Hamilton. Sorry, not Dougie Hamilton. Wow. A lot of talking today, guys. I do like Drew Doughty quite a bit tonight at 5,700. He's playing so many minutes, and he's just a guy that will get it done on the power play, and you're kind of hoping for maybe 2 power play assists, a few shots, and give them 4 opportunities. He's going to have a lot of chances to see high quality shots on net, and that's what you're looking for from your defenseman. Then Cal Peterson tonight, guys, 6,900. The Kings allow quite a few shot attempts. The Blues do attempt, bottom 10 in the league, but at 6,900, I think it's a very good price for him. We saw Quick get a shutout, and I know Devils for Cup was on Quick last game, and I wasn't. So I like Peterson a lot. He's a very good analytics goalie. He has a solid save percentage, goals against average this season. And this Blues team has just been struggling to generate offense. Like Parayko's out, Schwartz is out. Those are 2 pretty marquee guys in that team. So definitely have some interest in Peterson at 6,900 tonight if he starts. If Quick starts, he still draws some interest from me as well. But I do think Peterson is the better goalie. On the Blue side here, just not too much interest. Like this Kings team has just been getting it done. They don't take penalties. They've been really good on the penalty kill. They're not allowing too many shots on net. And looks like this O'Reilly line is going to be going against the Kopitar line, who has been great this season in a pretty high sample of limiting chances, limiting goals against. So not too much I like from this Blue side at all. But I think if you're going to go anywhere, it's going to be Blues too. I like Kyrou as an expected goals guy. He's someone that really drives the play, and that's what you want. But their price tags are, Shen at 6,100 is a little inflated for me. Defensive side, I think Parayko is out tonight. So definitely have some interest from Falk. He's a guy that plays 27 minutes a night, especially in close games. He blocks, he shoots, power play too. So definitely have some interest in Falk tonight. Jordan Binnington, I just can't see myself going to him here. The Kings don't shoot enough, and he's a high-priced goalie tonight. So hard for me to pay up for Binnington when he's going to face pretty low volume against this Kings team. So yeah, definitely more love from the Kings side than the Blues side for me tonight. All right. Dying of thirst, but favorite line for me tonight, it's going to be Avalanche 1, Coyotes 1. Going to have them in my cash lineups. I love the ownership play, and Devils mentioned it where I would rather face a 25% owned Avalanche 1 line than a 50% owned Leafs 1 line. And for those of you who are kind of new to DraftKings, is the way to explain it is if you're fading Matthews, so say Matthews doesn't do good, like they don't at the 22K price tag, they need to pay off at least 4x. So that's about 3 full line goals. And if they don't get that, that means 50% of the field is knocked out for the night. And then you have so much leverage over everybody else. And that's what I've done the last 2 nights where I didn't pick Matthews at 42% ownership. He busted. And I didn't take McDavid last night. I had, again, 40% ownership and he busted. So if you're doing cash, 3 entries or less, definitely worthwhile to be taking or definitely worthwhile to look to fade the Leafs just because of the ownership. But if you're doing multiple entries, it's definitely worth it to be taking them. They're in the best spot tonight. Highest projection on the slate for us. With Hyman there, their numbers are really good. It's just taking down a single entry contest, you need to get away from the ownership. And if Matthews pops off tonight, then, count me out. And then you're going to be fighting against 50% of the other people that have them. So, in some of the contests with 3,000 people, that 50% ownership, you're going to be going up against 1,000 to 2,000 other people with the same Matthews combinations as you. So keep that in mind, guys. All right. Favorite defenseman for me tonight. I can definitely get behind some Jacob Chikrin. I think it's a very, very favorable matchup. The Ducks allow a bunch of shot attempts, and that's what you want to see. So give me some Chikrin tonight. Definitely in line for the shot and block bonus, and hopefully add some points for the cherry on top for us tonight. Low price defenseman tonight. I think Lindgren and Keandre Miller are good looks, especially at the 3 and 2,800 price tag. You're just hoping for the shot block bonus, and they'll pay off value for you there. Okay, guys. So I know I went a little fast today. We're at 40 minutes. Goes by way faster than it seems for me. But have our Hattrick predictions from yesterday. It looks like the winner was. We didn't have a hat trick, but Lon had Laine with 2 goals, an assist, 6 shots. He was really close to the hat trick yesterday. This is one of the best nights we've had for guesses. We have a few goals. So me and Clarky both cashed with our Pettersson, Forsberg guesses. Both had a goal. Yippee-ki-yay with McDavid. And then Christian had Gino Malkin with that first period power play goal. So yeah, guys, if you guys are liking the content so far, we have 52 of you in here. Definitely leave a like. It's a lot of work doing this solo, so it kind of motivates me to keep going, and just shows that you guys are enjoying the content every day. A little bit of a motivator for myself and for our team to keep going and keep pushing the content for you guys. All right. Again, if you guys want access to our spreadsheets and our trade analyzer, all available over on our Patreon. Just click the link in the description and you'll be able to direct you right to it. The $8 tier gives you access to our articles, all of our projections. We update our projections weekly, as well as our trade analyzer. This is probably one of the most useful tools for everybody. I get a lot of questions about trades, so this is what we base majority of our answers off of. And for those who play Draftkings and want access to this sheet, all available over on our Patreon. Guys, if you're not in the Discord, join the Discord. Fantasy puck community is growing. A lot of people in there, a lot of awesome people, a lot of helpful people. And all right, guys. So we'll get to our Hattrick predictions for 02-24. So boys, get those Hattrick predictions in the chat. I'm gonna be thinking about mine right now. I don't know when it's gonna be time. I don't know when someone's gonna hit the prediction, but we're getting close. We're getting close. So bear with me here. I'm going to do my best to keep up, get everyone in here. But give me some Hattrick predictions, boys. And as you guys are thinking of them, I'll answer some questions. Should I play? Oh, sorry. Pick up Zegras. Yeah, Joseph, if you have a roster spot, I think Zegras is worth a pickup, especially on Power Play 1. Dropped Fiala once and no one picked him up. Okay, so if that's the case, you can get rid of him, Wolf. Are you worried about Talbot? No, I'm not worried about Talbot. Wolf, Huberto. Oh, Sergio. Sergio's on board, guys. With my boy. Sorry, Lucas, I'll toss your full name in here. Just in case there's another Lucas. Charlie with Barkov. Not the noted goal scorer, but it's sneaky. I don't think anyone else is going to be taking them. Look at that. Chaboy. I got the Zib jersey on. He scored last game. I respect it. Matthew taking Matthews. Devils with the Kreider pick. Mike on the JVR tonight, eh? JVR. Second Braden Point. I know I didn't cover the 5 p.m. games, but you can definitely toss in guesses from the 5 p.m. games. Feel free. Ooh, Marner. I don't know if Marner's ever had a hat trick. We got 2 Stammers back to back. Lawn right in the hot hand if you guys are going with Stammer. Marcus going Matthews, second Matthews. I saw a stat. Matthews has 33 2-goal games and 2 hat tricks. So, no way. Jeff Carter. Is Dallas playing today? Oh, they're in the earlier games. Braden Shen. Zach Hyman, our boy. Expected goals machine. Dustin Brown with 2 goals last game. He looked good. He had a sick goal. Not sure if anyone saw that. All right, guys. So just because none of you guys took him, I'm going to take him because I have his jersey hanging right above me right now. So I'm going to go with good old Nathan McKinnon. A little bit off the board here, eh, guys? But I'm going good old Nathan McKinnon, my boy, my favorite player. I would have went Zib, but we'll leave Chaboy as the solo Zib taker tonight. All right, guys. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Hopefully I got to everyone's questions. If I didn't, join the Discord, ask the questions in there. Feel free to comment on my videos. I'm pretty quick to answer on there as well. For those of you who haven't typed in your Hattrick picks, definitely do so, and I'll get to it. Follow us on Twitter if you're not, guys, at @fantasy_puck. We have some awesome tweets. Some of you guys have been tweeting at us and been sending us some Twitter DMs for just quick direct contact. Definitely do that. Almost at 200 followers on Twitter, so that's an exciting milestone. We're excited to hit that. If you guys like the content so far, leave a like and subscribe. Gonna have a buy low, sell high video coming out on Thursday. Just so you guys are aware, I'm going away this weekend, Friday to Monday, so I won't be streaming any of those days. But I will have my waiver wire video up on Saturday. Other than that, thanks everyone for tuning in again. Hopefully my credentials get a little bit better as I stream a little bit more. No trolls in here today, guys. So anyways, appreciate everyone for tuning in once again, and I will see everyone tomorrow.